you recording?
Well, I'm recording too.
Okay, we're all recording then. Hello.
We're all recording. Got it. Good.
Right. Hello, and welcome.
You're eating in the background.
I am eating in the background. Welcome
This is a brilliant intro.
Welcome to Bumble Cast. We're not sure what this is, and maybe you shouldn't either. But Marvin and Vader told me I should do this, and we're going to do it.
Hang on.
So, we're doing this.
You can't put all of this on us. I mean, really.
Well, I've got to put it on most of you, but anyway.
We get a free jumper.
Maybe if you're good enough, right?
Hell yeah.
Anyway.
I'm just in this for the jumper, to be honest.
This is already going to shit already. It's only been how many seconds? Like 20 seconds? 20?
Please carry on listening.
50.
I swear I'll get better.
Okay,
Anyway, so
what is this? Go on, Marvin. What is this?
this is the Bumble Cast. We have decided that we are interesting people. We are arrogant enough to claim this, and we want you to listen to it. So please listen. Thank you.
Sounds like an urgent appeal.
Just £2 a month can save Marvin and get us into.
What, you took him hostage or something?
Well, maybe I don't know, but anyway.
Hang on, that probably isn't the best thing to publish. But yeah, okay. So, the Bumblecast is a podcast, if you haven't guessed already. And we want to talk about different things in life.
We just want to talk about anything that comes to our mind.
Anything and everything, yeah.
So should we introduce ourselves? Barkles, we should start with you.
What am I meant to say about myself? Except...
You need to make yourself sound as sexual as you can.
Oh, don't do that.
Hang on.
Let's go.
Oh,
So,
okay.
my name is Bark. I come from the south of England. I'm probably the most... I can't say educated, because Marvin's probably smarter than me.
Let's appear it.
He
Why
just
not?
appeared.
Yeah,
I've
you
probably
just appear smart.
I'm probably the most experienced in media, I guess, and sound tech. I like cars.
I feel awkward.
I feel awkward too. I don't really want to talk about this.
I like talking to myself. I like talking about myself. So I should start, and then you guys can follow. So I'm Marvin. I am a odd person. I put myself into odd situations and kind of make funny stories out of them. I enjoy telling these funny stories too. So I fancy myself as a comedian, but I don't think I'm funny enough quite to that. I mean, my sort of comedy is sort of people laugh at me rather than with me, and you can't really go on stage doing that. I like putting myself in awkward situations and telling people that sort of stuff, and I like commenting and making arrogant things, and I like thinking that people want to listen to me. You
genuinely just made yourself sound like an absolute dick. The first thing you said was "I fancy myself."
No, I didn't. I said I fancy myself as a comedian. I mean,
did you prepare that? Did you write that down? You didn't know.
No, I didn't.
You sound like you wrote it down.
That literally.
I was gonna say nobody speaks like that.
Yeah, go on, Vader.
Naturally. Hello, my name is Vader. No, I'm not gonna do that for the entire way. I work doing game development in college. That's what I do. So probably the most educated of the three of us to do with that. Got no children, luckily.
Yet. We're not exactly sure.
Yet.
Somebody with a weird
make
time.
me can't say that. Yeah, I've got nothing interesting.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's us.
That's that.
So if you don't like us, stop talking now. I mean, stop listening now. I mean,
stop talking now.
Stop talking now.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just talking.
Go on, then.
So
before we lose any more people,
we'll stop talking now, and then
what? A moment of silence. Anyway, what did you have next? Because actually, no. First of all, can you read out that list you had for me? Because I thought it was brilliant.
For the podcast, I've decided that I would discuss, certain things, that we could all, do and talk about. And it was Bumblecast, Christmas, Bumblecast, Christmas, Sloe Gin, work, Woman with Eye Watch, and Woman in the Pub. That's our list of.
That sounds like a logical progression. Christmas, gin, woman in pub.
It is the same woman.
Oh no!
Oh,
that's just gonna sound. I don't know what's going on here, but it doesn't sound good. Right?
No, it isn't. Okay, so shall we start with the Christmas?
Let's start with Christmas. Christmas, a time of coming together and spending
Meeting
time.
of porgs.
Yes, no, I'm going to talk about porgs later. I have to talk about porgs. But I suppose we're going to talk. How was your Christmas? How was your Christmas, Vader?
Good. It was quiet but good. No, not much alcohol consumed because I had work the day after. But apart from that, yeah, nice quiet one.
You're a man of few words. I like that. I had quite a quiet Christmas as well. I ended up playing the train set, which I think is something else we want to talk about, wasn't it? Later, like I think another day.
Yeah,
we'll
I saw
talk
a picture
about
of that.
That'd be another podcast. Otherwise, all the things that we need to talk about. I mean, we'd be here for hours. And
we'll do a 10-hour-long podcast, and I'll cut it into hour-long segments.
Yeah. No, thank you.
No, I'm not saying I'm till 4 in the
lose
morning.
my voice.
Oh.
I mean, go on.
Yeah, so my Christmas was quite entertaining. It's probably the most entertaining Christmas I have ever had. So it started off as me working. I work at Jalfrezi. I work at a retail store that sells electronic devices that isn't being named. So for the purposes of the podcast, I will call it either Jalfrezi or chicken
madras.
korma. I can't quite decide. You decide.
Can we have a tikka masala?
Tikka masala. Yeah, well, I can call it tikka masala. So I work at tikka masala and electronics world. There we go. If that doesn't narrow it down enough, you don't need to know. It's not important to the story. Anyway, so I work there, and it's a quite entertaining store to work at. I mean, you're a salesman. You have to attempt to sell products to people and give them the right information, and you can't lie to people either. Like, fair enough, like you can't, but by law, I'm not allowed to lie to people. I have to give people the right information, and then when you're selling on thousands of different products, it's quite difficult to come up with that. So I work at a really quite stressful job if you think about it. When you're trying to sell someone a microwave and someone goes, "What does it do?" and you go,
microwaves things.
Is it commission?
Not really. I mean, you get
you get like
targets.
added bonuses.
You get a bonus, but then you get targets as well. And it's not your job isn't really. I mean, my job isn't really down on. It's not just like I don't really do my job well enough for commission. I don't try and earn commission from doing what I'm doing. Yeah. It's more I do it because if you don't, you get put on a department like microwaves, and
you're a microwaves.
Yeah, I'm not a microwave.
Like a microwave man.
This is another story. But anyway, I work at that store, and I was, it's quite stressful. Came home Christmas Eve. I came home the day before Christmas Eve, and then Christmas Eve was quite a peaceful day. I kind of sat in with family. We did, some stuff. We played some games and stuff, and it was quite entertaining. I enjoyed it. It was quite fun. But then I decided that I came downstairs and I saw my mum, my sister, and my dad. They were tidying up the dining room. We never use it. The dogs go in there the most, so they were tidying it up, cleaning it a little bit. And there was a load of alcohol in the dining room. This alcohol hadn't been used previously. I mean, no one touches alcohol in our house. So
But
there's
you
a
get
bottle.
second-hand alcohol.
Second-hand alcohol.
It's not really second-hand alcohol. It's just
It's
alcohol.
just the way that you worded it. It was like it hasn't been used.
Well, no, it's. I mean, it's not drunk. It hasn't been drunk.
Is alcohol drunk by default?
Crunk?
Like, would you call alcohol drunk, or would you? No, because it's
This is like
alcohol
saying
is
our
full
fish
of
wet in
alcohol.
the
Call
water.
alcohol anything.
Well, yeah, they are, but is water? I'm not getting this is like way too philosophical. Like,
This is
too much.
I like tangents. Is alcohol drunk? I don't know. I'm gonna say alcohol is drunk.
Right. Okay. So.
That's bad.
So yeah, I decided that I would drink a bottle of wine, but I drank it too quickly.
A
And I hadn't. A bottle of wine.
You drank a whole bottle of wine?
I drank a bottle of wine in half an hour.
Well, that's not too bad, but...
Here for half an hour, pretty much. Very quickly, by the way. And I didn't have anything to eat since lunchtime. So, as you can imagine...
Did it come back up?
It didn't go well. No one else was drinking either. No one else was drinking either. So my was quite lovey-dovey, hugging my mum. And my mum was like, "What are you doing? Go away. Go to bed." It was quite fun. It was very entertaining. I said some funny things. There was at one point I was talking to my sister. I was sitting on my sister's bedroom floor. and I was just like, I don't know, I was out of it, completely out of it. Went to bed, was sick a little bit, but in a bucket. I was very good. I'm a very good drunk. I had a bucket and a glass of water. I took it to bed and I laid on my side and just nodded off. I mean, there was no consequences of my actions apart from the morning.
I like that.
I wish I could say that.
No, I don't drink a lot.
Yeah.
I think we're actually transitioning into the second topic here, aren't we?
We are.
I'm not sensible when I drink.
I don't know. I like to think I'm very sensible when I drink.
You see, I worry. I've never been on a night out or anything. I'm not old enough to have done that.
Well, I'm old enough, but I just don't do it.
You know, I mean...
Well, I'm not, but...
So I've never done that. So
happen.
I was when I was drunk, I was quite worried. I mean, what happens if I can't imagine being in that situation, feeling like I did then, and being able to get a taxi home and get home alive.
So wait, you drank an entire bottle of wine in 30 minutes? How strong was the wine? Was it like...
I thought you were in the house.
I was in the house, yeah, but I was worried I was worried for the people that weren't in the house.
Oh,
you worried for the people that weren't. You. So when you were drunk, you had an existential crisis worrying about the clubbers in wherever the nearest town was, getting home at night. When I was I've only been properly drunk once, and that was in the middle of it was in my mate lives in.
It was in somebody's front room, wasn't it?
It was because Lewis was there as well. You know, my very good friend Lewis, who's a very quiet person normally if you see him in real life. But he drank. I think he drank 8 pre-drinks of Strongbow, and drank 4 more there, a whole bottle of WKD Mixer, 3 Budweisers, and some other ciders. And by the end of the evening, he was lying on his back on a sofa with a Bluetooth speaker, pumping the air and screaming "Take on me." We played FIFA. It was great. We scored 10 own goals because I didn't know which way I was going, and my computer's gone to sleep, which is fun. And then the next day, this was a couple of years ago, so my last driving lesson before I did my test was the next day, and I'd only drank 2 Strongbows and a Budweiser, and I was in a state where I could not function the next day, and I have not drank more than 1 pint on a night since. And I'd cut it. Hello, welcome back. So what were we talking about? Yeah, I was talking about the fact I don't drink a lot. But saying that, my dad for Christmas got a very, very nice bottle of Sloe Gin, which was actually I found incredibly warming. I had a tiny, tiny sip of it, and it warmed my cockles.
Oh,
it's lovely. But because
that's a very common saying.
No, but the thing is, earlier we were talking about this just before we started, and Vader said, "What's Sloe Gin? Does it make you just drink it very slowly?" But what it actually is Sloe Gin is it's not spelled slow; it's spelled slow with an E at the end instead of a W. So it's like a type of berry or something.
It's like Sloe Gin.
Yeah, that's a misconception. A lot of people. I was. It was at Christmas dinner. I knew what this was because I'd heard it before. I don't know where. Maybe a TV show or something. But my parents were all talking about Sloe Gin, and my sister turned around and said, "Oh, I was in work the other day, and this woman makes Sloe Gin." And I turned around to her and I said, "How long does it take you to make it?"
Oh, that's a terrible joke, and you should
No,
be ashamed.
no, she wasn't joking. She was just genuinely that stupid. Like, she thought it was Sloe Gin, like made.
But what is it? What's the difference?
It's like a berry. It's like whatever.
Yeah,
it's like
so it's just made with like fruit rather.
No, it's just made with the berry sloe. Like I don't know. It's like
what do you actually make gin out of?
I want to Google this.
I want to Google what gin's made out of. I don't actually know.
Sloe berry.
What
Sloe
is
berries.
gin made? This is informative. We need to inform people.
Oh,
What is gin
Tesco
made
salad.
from?
I'm pretty sure other people know it. Just we're that stupid that we don't know.
It's made
Bumble
in
Cast, where
June.
stupid people get taught stupid things.
Okay, it's a liqueur which is made from juniper berries.
Juniper
yes.
berries.
Juniper, yes.
Juniper berries.
Juniper. Don't confuse me even more.
Juniper berries. Juniper berries.
Right. I mean, so I'm
Talking about berries, I have a
blackberry.
No, I have a grapefruit
I had one of
sherbet,
those.
lemon, soda. Like it's like a sherbet soda can with grapefruit sherbet in it.
Right.
And
Yeah,
it's
okay.
disgusting, but it's addictive. Basically, my mum up until
It's got
Christmas.
nicotine in it.
I just clicked my microphone there. I hope you're proud. I just watched my I'm just watching my level and it just goes like right to the top.
Well, my mum, all the way up to Christmas, do you know the advent calendar, doesn't buy us advent calendars. She makes a box and she wraps little presents like socks and little stocking
Socks?
fillers as such.
What, do you
Yeah.
end up
Right.
with 24 pairs of socks?
You know, so every day we get to open a present, and it is
Right.
So I've opened a soda can of grapefruit flavored sherbet.
But it's the 27th of December when we're recording.
Well, no,
this.
that wasn't today. They got
Oh,
this
right.
the other day.
Oh, that's nice. Well,
It's disgusting, as I've said, which is why it's still on my desk.
so wait, you get 24. So you don't have Christmas presents then?
Well, I still have Christmas presents.
Lucky bastard.
I just don't get a stocking. That's the downside.
Well, I didn't get a stocking.
I
either.
didn't have one this year.
Yeah, I didn't have one was either.
No.
I don't need one. You know, I'm.
Like, I was really gutted. Like, I always lose my stocking, and then the night of, like, Christmas Eve, all day I spend trying to find my stocking. So this year, I put it on my wardrobe, and this is the year she decided we weren't having stockings. So
Well, to be fair, you had 24 presents before you start. Before
it's not the point,
Christmas.
Bargles. It's not the point.
Not the point.
Right. So you got. So I saw a couple of them Snapchats. So you got a picture of you and your girlfriend, didn't you, or something?
Yeah. It's an awful picture of us. And
Oh, I don't have either
A
of you on
cheapy frame.
Snapchat.
You
Sometimes.
have me. You have me on Snapchat. No, you don't have me
I
on
don't.
Snapchat. Okay, we're not going to talk about. Well, I'll add you on Snapchat later because I don't want to read it out now. Unless I just beep it.
Shall I talk about the woman with the Apple Watch?
No,
Yeah.
I want you. To, okay, actually, yeah. Tell me about the one with the Apple Watch.
So
and
as
the
I've said,
Apple
I work at Jalfrezi or chicken. I work at that.
You work
place.
at an Indian restaurant that sells electronics.
I work at an Indian restaurant that sells electronics. Yeah, brilliant. So I was on. I don't know. I'm on TVs normally, so I can tell you about the QLEDs. I can tell you about an OLED.
Well,
I
do you
can
need
tell
a
you
new
about-
TV?
Yeah, I can tell you about all those. But I was wandering down, and a woman said to me, "Oh, can I get an Apple Watch?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'm not. You know, I can get a colleague over to you." And my manager, nope. Yeah, my
Dave.
manager, Dave, my manager. Can you bleep that out? Dave, my manager,
will.
came over and was like, "Look, will you please just serve the Apple Watch?"
You're
What?
terrible
just-
at
you've
undercover
called yourself-
storytelling.
You've
No,
called
well,
yourself Marvin for the last like 25 minutes, and then.
Oh. Brilliant.
Am I bleeping that as well?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Marvin, so
we're
shall I
not
start over?
swearing, you just keep saying the wrong name.
Shall I start over? I'm going to start over. So,
Okay, go.
Good
again.
idea. Okay.
So a
I
woman
work
comes
at-
in with an Apple
I work,
Watch.
as I've established before, I work at an Indian restaurant which sells electronic devices, and I would normally work on TVs, so like QLEDs, LEDs, and OLEDs and stuff. So I can tell you all about those, but I can't tell you anything about any of the other products, pretty much, and just because it's impossible to know everything. So as I was walking down, a woman asked if I can help her with an Apple Watch, and I was like, yeah, sure, I can help you, but I would rather get a colleague over. So I went over to Dave, my manager, and he was like, look, Marvin, can you please just serve it because I've got no one else? I was like, yeah, don't worry, Dave, I've got your back, Dave. So I walked over to this woman with the Apple Watch, and I was like, hi, how can I help? So she was quite rampant with me at the moment. Like
Rampant.
Rampant. Like she's full on annoyed.
Rampant.
Because rampant. That's a word.
Is that a
So-
word?
I don't know.
Was she
Hang
looking
on.
to buy one?
Well, the thing is with Apple Watches, they don't have like one strap. You don't have one color of Apple Watch, and they're not all the same sort of. Like they've all got different product codes.
Oh,
and
because you
stuff.
can personalize.
That's
them and
not a
things
word.
Like that.
They've all got different product codes, and they've all got different things to personalize them and stuff.
Yeah.
So I have to put all the different product codes into which one she wants, and she wasn't being very clear in which exact ones she wanted me to check. So I just checked them all, and I was like, we got this one, we don't have that one, we got this one, went through them all. And her daughter, who she was buying it for, was also getting quite annoyed because, I wasn't giving them the right answer when they weren't giving me a correct question. So finally we found an Apple Watch she wanted. As I was going through the sale, she was very rude to me, and I don't like rude people. I can deal with rude people. I enjoy dealing with rude people, at work, but normally I don't like them. and she was being particularly rude. Her daughter was screaming at her mum. Her mum was screaming at me. So it was over my head. So at this point, I was like, screaming at me, like full on, like going red in the face, because we didn't have this particular Apple Watch she wanted, and I said, look, we can order it online for you, but I won't be able to. So I ordered it online for her, but ordering it online, there's a big complicated list. Like we have to take the email address, her obviously her home address and stuff, her mobile number and things. So we need to take her details, and that takes time. And obviously she's impatient, so I was going through. So at this point, I was not okay with this situation, and I knew that my sales pitches weren't going to go through, and it was going to affect my targets. If I put the person on my number. So I went over to Dave and I said, look, no, I said to her, I was like, look,
her? Dave's a her?
I said to her, the woman I was serving, shall I get someone else to serve you? Because there's obviously an issue here. So she, of course, did not like this. Like, she went red in the face. She was like, what is wrong? How dare you talk to me like that? How dare you? It was like, oh, okay. So I stood up, walked away, wasn't going to respond to her. I said, I do apologise. And I talked to her quite, peacefully and calmly, because that's what we have to do. And then I walked away, so I went over to Dave, and I was like, hey, Dave, will you serve this customer? And kind of walked away. Left it at that. My store manager, Rodney.
Is that his real name, or is that a changed one? Do I have to believe that as well?
Kind of. Right. So he came over and he was like, look, what happened? I explained the situation. And he was like, look, you did amazingly well there. I do respect you for being able to stand up and walk away. I wouldn't even be able to do that, and just kind of congratulated me for that. And that was pretty much the end of that story. Then a few weeks later, it was only, I told this happened, quite a while, about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And about a week ago, the last week of college, we decided that we'd go to a local pub to have steak and chips, for a meal. We would go for a meal out, but just at lunchtime or whatever.
Is this your college people,
I can see what's happening.
or Jalfrezi Planet? Is it Jalfrezi Planet or college?
No, this is just a bog standard pub, called the.
I mean, who were you going with? Were you going with Jalfrezi Planet?
Just people at college. A couple of people at college. And I haven't told this story to them because there's that many rude customers. So as I walked in, I saw her, looked her dead in the eye, and she didn't see me. I was like, I'm not going to look at her. So I looked down then. I was like, I'm not having a conversation with, she'll rip my head off in this pub. So I kind of sat down, and I felt uncomfortable. So I ordered my meal, a steak and chips. I told the people on my table the very same story I just told you, and they all kind of were laughing and everything. And all of a sudden, we heard this a mighty roar from the other side of the pub, and it was, oh dear. And we knew it was this woman. We looked her dead in the eye, and all we heard was, "This Coke is not good enough."
Holy shit!
So
is she one of those constantly whining people?
Does she have one of those? Does she have that? Can I see your manager haircut? Do you know what I mean?
Like,
the one
this is a sort of like, can I see your manager?
She got red hair.
No, she had like a bob blonde hair.
Yeah. That's the can I see the manager haircut. Did she drive a BMW from the late 2000s?
No, I don't think she was I don't think she could afford a BMW.
Just not that well.
This is the sort of woman that is probably has like this sort of woman that probably gets the bus to work every morning, and works at the co-op, but yet just pretends that she's the queen half the time. So anyway. Mm-hmm. No offense to anyone that works at the co-op.
Oh my god!
Or has a haircut like
we've got 25 minutes in. We've already offended everybody who has blonde hair. Everyone who works at the co-op.
Bob.
Yeah, we've offended you. You offended yourself. I hope you're happy.
I offend myself every day.
Oh god! And we've also probably offended the entire gin-loving population by our disability to know what
gin is. So anyway, she was screaming and shouting at the other side, and I looked up and realised she was saying that the Coke was too watery, and it was not okay. When her meal then came out, she then sent the meal back because she found a hair. Now then, all the kitchen staff came out, and they all had black hair. The hair that she pulled out was apparently blonde. She had blonde hair.
So she found
Oh.
oh no. That's terrible. How can you be that much of a dick to absolutely
Did she
everyone?
go quiet after that?
No, she uproared. She was like, she just, well, there's clearly someone with blonde hair in that kitchen. There's just, or the kitchen's never been cleaned, and there's just, hair that's fallen from somewhere. And she, did you know when people are digging themselves a hole at this point? Do you know, like I do on a regular basis?
Yeah, I know when you dig yourself a massive hole and I have to stop you. Yeah, I know exactly that feeling. Right.
Well,
so
the thing is, I felt sorry for her grandchild because.
Grandchild.
Well, I imagine. I think.
That's a different.
This is what I'm
daughter.
picturing at the moment. She's probably got like she's got like a 14-year-old daughter, but then she's got like a 23-year-old daughter that's got a young baby child, like a toddler, and she was taking her 23-year-old out with her granddaughter. Like this is sort of like age we're talking about with this woman,
Okay, so like probably late 50s, early 60s.
No, like early, like late 40s.
Really? Yeah. They've got
Yeah.
a 23-year-old kid. That must. Oh god.
My dad is 44. 5 and he has
Sorry, I had to throw that one in.
Oh, that's good.
Oh.
wow. Anyway, so Barkles, you were saying something.
Was I?
Yeah. Or
I was going to ask
vaguely
a
you said.
question.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, since we both work in retail, sorry, Barkles, you're out of this one.
I actually am for once. This is great.
Do you ever get that question from customers where they expect you to magically make things appear that you don't have in stock?
Oh yes, yeah. This is a really common thing. Like we in the store we don't have everything. Like it would be impossible if we stocked all the items. Imagine all the the fridge freezers and the microwaves and everything. All these big items. Things like your big TVs and everything. We've only got like a relatively small warehouse. It would be ridiculous if we filled, the warehouse full of everything we had. It just wouldn't be plausible. So we have a big warehouse to all the major stores that can supply next day delivery. So if we don't have it in stock, you'll get it the next day. I mean, I guarantee you, we'll be able to get it next day. If not, we'll be able to get it. We'll be able to forward order it for you, which means when we get it in the warehouse, you'll get it the next day after we're getting it in the warehouse. And the next delivery date for the warehouse is the 29th of December. So it's pretty soon,
Right.
It's not going to be too far in advance.
One thing I'd like to know though is I went to Jalfrezi Planet,
right?
Or a store, that's my local branch. Probably on the 23rd of December, and I tried to buy a Molex to SATA cable to plug my new hard drive into, and I went to use my Android Pay on the till, and it didn't have a tap function on the till.
Oh yeah, we don't have Android Pay.
And I'd love to know why you guys. Like, I'm just interested because it's like all the stores I go into, like the fucking corner shop next to my old college, which is like ran by a bloke who sells chips with a big, those big lamps with the chip lamps, the really big heat lamps. He uses that, and he's got a tap function on his card reader, but the electronics store doesn't.
I know it's ironic. I think my understanding of it is that the lot of the products that we sell are over £30. So if you think about your computers, your TVs, all the main, it just wouldn't be necessary. I mean, we do have a lot of like printers that may be like £14 or like printer ink that goes through.
Fair enough.
But then I think
it's more cost, isn't it?
It's probably just more cost to the company that they don't need. It's not plausible.
It's actually very fair thinking about it because the only thing is with
it depends.
I use Visa. Vader, you have a Android phone, don't you? Do you use Android phone on your phone?
Yeah, I do, but Samsung Pay does not support my bank.
No, oh right. Well,
So I
use
can't
Apple.
use it.
I use Android Pay. I get a I get because I have a Visa. I get
I've never tried.
You know what I was just saying about having a Visa? I opened up Android Pay just now and it said your Visa has been cancelled on Android Pay.
Oh.
So you don't?
No, I don't. But the thing is, I suppose I got deals on it. I do get I got a £5 M&S voucher once for spending £10 in a restaurant. It was great. But
I was gonna say I've never
anymore.
tried Android Pay on my Samsung phone because it comes with Samsung Pay. I tried that, but my bank account
hang on,
doesn't
but you're not
take
over
them.
18.
Should still work.
No, it doesn't.
Well,
I've got one of those Barclays BPay bands.
I have Apple Pay. No, I have Android Pay, and I'm
Actually,
under 18.
My card wouldn't, NatWest wouldn't work until I was 18.
I'm with Halifax.
Oh.
Um,
There you go. Try and work it out from there, bitches, if you want to steal my credit card info.
Well, I've got a competition between me and Marvin that I've just thought of to do with going back to the retail thing.
Yeah.
right.
What
okay.
is the stupidest question you've been asked?
Oh, you go first.
Well, I work in a game shop for the people I don't know. Well, you won't know. This is the first episode of Bumble Cast. I work in a game shop, like physical games, so like Xbox games and stuff.
The rest of the gay shop.
No, not a gay shop. Not a gay shop.
Just
And,
sex toys and stuff.
Massive deal.
Hi, I'm Vader, the sex toy supplier. Come to you today.
Please don't.
Come to you.
Oh.
Or should I say
Anyways,
come in you?
anyways,
Ha, ha,
Yeah,
ha,
go
ha.
on then. Go on.
anyways. Buildings are usually rented, as you probably know, like retail buildings.
Yeah, at
Not
least-
many
yeah.
places actually own them. Well, anyways, probably about a year after the shop opened, some smackhead in a tracksuit, top and bottoms, came in and said, "Do you sell bikes?" My dad replied with, "No, we're a game shop." And his response to this was, before huffing and walking out of the door, slamming it, was, "Well, the last guy that bought this, the last shop that was here did." How does the last person that owned this shop, bearing in mind the shop before that I'm sure was either a hairdresser's or a pet shop. First of all, why was he selling bikes out the back? Second of all, why would that have anything to do with the current owners of a business, nothing to do with the last one?
It's a very odd question.
I've actually got linking to that. I've actually got quite a good one. We had so where I live, it's in an area of the city that's not. It's the part of the area I live in is all right, but a lot of the area is quite deprived. You know, there's a lot of council housing, and the row of shops nearby isn't great. So you know, the shops one of the shops in there changed hands like 4 times in a year, and there's a pet shop there. It's been there since I've lived here.
I don't think pet shops ever do very well.
No, this pet shop's done fine. But the reason, this is the thing. The reason it's done fine, I wonder why it was still open, because you know no one ever go in there, you know, and all that stuff. And I found out once someone I knew from school, they were a drug person. You know, they did a lot of weed, a bit of cocaine, and all that. And I found out that they called the pet shop the special pet shop, where you could get some bunny rabbits, because the shop owner apparently is selling cocaine out the back of his shop. And you know what? I wondered
Is that
why
what makes it special?
I always wondered why the bunny rabbits either looked really lethargic or really, really active in that shop.
Oh, that's brilliant. So we've got
So I've got a drug dealing pet shop.
Yeah, drug dealing pet shop. I've been watching Breaking Bad again recently, and I've enjoyed it. I've watched it before, and I've watched it before that as well. And my girlfriend wanted to. Well, she didn't want to watch it. She wanted to watch some silly TV show, and I was like, "Look, you know, you've got to see Breaking Bad."
Look, we must break up if we cannot watch Breaking Bad.
Yeah, like we need to see Breaking Bad. So
Breaking Bad
see
and
each other
we
nothing.
sat down and we decided that when she's at my house, we'll watch Breaking Bad. When we're at her house, we'll watch a soppy movie, and that's the agreement that we have.
Is this why you don't go to her house ever again and you just sit watching Breaking Bad?
No, it's fun going to her house. She lives in like the middle of nowhere, so it's kind of.
Well, you live in the middle of nowhere.
I do, but I mean, like she lives.
She lives in the middle of nowhere.
She lives, lives in the middle of loads of fields. Yeah.
Oh.
So it's quite fun. I mean, there's sheep and stuff in her house and stuff. It's quite fun.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we watched Breaking Bad and it's quite fun. What sort of TV shows do you sort of watch? What's your favorite TV show?
Can I link myself into my love of porgs right now?
Go ahead.
Oh, dude. Right, so last Wednesday I went to see the new Star Wars film. Whatever it's called, The Last Jedi, is it? The Jedi gets
One of
lupus or something. Yeah. I don't know. And the film was good. It was very long. My car overstayed its welcome in the car park I parked it in. I needed a parking ticket, but nonetheless, it was a good film. The main thing about this film, which I think you both know by now, is that You guys seem a little porgs.
Is it the big massive character all over your Steam and?
Yeah, it's the little porgs. You know, the little penguins and the things.
They just look like gerbils.
They're so cute. I have a fascination with them now. I've now named myself on Steam as Porg. It's brilliant. And now and I've ordered a Porg, but they're all out of stock in Amazon, so I'm waiting for them to come back in stock on Amazon and then it'll arrive. But
It's
I
a
have
real
a Porg.
Porg he's ordered.
Can I link something
feeder.
else in now? I mean, I know we've just literally linked, but do you know
With
Amazon?
Link. Yeah.
Linked, yeah. Right, okay, so I found out some information. Do you know the Amazon Fire Sticks are not supporting YouTube now?
We are now.
No, they're not. After
don't know.
after the 1st of January, they no longer support YouTube. And the reason for that is because...
They don't stock Chromecasts.
yeah, Amazon turned around and said, we're no longer going to stock Chromecasts because we have our own product that we're going to sell. And, Google, uproared about this and we're like, hang on.
We'll play out your own game.
Well, why? We'll play your game if you want. So
you got played. Congratulations.
So they were like, we're not going to support YouTube on your device anymore. So they stopped supporting YouTube, and now they kind of like both of them threw their toys out of the pram, and neither of them have any toys anymore. So
It sounds like deja vu because I'm sure iPhone lost the YouTube app for a while.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, but the main thing is I can't watch Amazon Prime on my Chromecast, which is really annoying because there's Grand Tours on Amazon Prime, and I want to watch it on the Chromecast.
It's annoying.
Struggles.
I mean, the best thing to buy at the moment is probably a smart TV.
Well, you say that. I wouldn't buy a smart TV.
It'd be hard
the
to come by
TV
not
that
to
I've
buy a
got,
smart TV now.
Well, yeah, actually, that's like, yeah, we haven't bought a TV for 6 years, so.
You're
I
probably
was gonna say the
due an
TV
upgrade.
that I've got downstairs, the LG TV, that's a smart TV, but I never use the smart features on it.
It's a bit of a gimmick, I think. You just want a TV that
Because
looks good.
if you try to use the YouTube app, because I've tried this previously in the past, the keypad on it is worse than typing on a console, because you've only got this stupid D-pad thing on the remote, and it's incredibly, what's the word for it?
Shit.
Yeah, well that fits. Yeah, the noise the living shit out of you.
Alright.
It's just so slow. It's not even worth doing it. Now I know YouTube has that feature where you can send the video that you're watching on your phone to your TV.
Yeah, that's what I really
Yeah.
like. That's how I
think
found out that they
that's
weren't.
one way around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I do generally. When we generally, if we want to watch Amazon Prime on our Chromecast, what we do is we get my laptop and we Chromecast for tab, and then I just full size for tab, and I can still watch it. It just at a lower frame rate.
It's great for that YouTube app because if you start it, it kicks whatever's playing on the TV off.
Yes.
So if you can just kick other people off the TV, it's brilliant.
I have great fun doing that.
It's people yelling up the stairs. Why is YouTube opened?
I think if I did that, my mother would murder me.
We can do Spotify on our one. It's great. So I just play I'm a Barbie Girl at full volume on the TV downstairs.
Again, my mother would murder me.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's funny things. Technology has moved so far in the past, the past year, past 2 years.
Well, both, yeah.
I mean, look at TVs. I mean, TVs. You got OLEDs now. You heard of OLED? You know what an OLED is?
I've
OLED
heard of all
sounds a
these
bit
things.
like
I
a
don't
Russian
know.
guy, to be honest.
So you've
Hello,
got
OLED.
I don't know the
OLEDs.
science behind them or what they actually are.
OLED is individual pixels. So a normally LED TV basically is a backlit TV that supplies a light that kind of, it's like almost projects the screen, projects the image to the rest of the TV, and that's how it works. Now the
Is
issue
that the way
with
that box TVs used to work?
that's how all LED TVs work. And they kind of perfected it, and some TVs give amazing quality by doing this. So like the QLEDs, for example, is basically a LED TV on steroids. It is quantum dot technology that allows amazing bright colors, millions of colors that a standard LED just can't do. An OLED, however, gives you a natural color, a natural light, because it's individual pixels all the way across the screen. So there's no backlight, which means you don't get color bleed. Now, color bleed is when you have a light shining through a black. So if you look at your monitors, your gaming monitors, you might appear that some blacks appear slightly grey because you've got something
I've seen
else.
colour bleeding, yeah.
Yeah, so colour bleeding is a big thing, and you probably wouldn't notice it unless you saw an OLED, and OLED gives you true black colours, like you have never seen. Like they just turn off that part of the
Marvin,
screen.
They use that
Are
quite
you
a lot
selling
on
us a
phones,
television?
don't they?
No, I'm not telling you. I'm not selling you a television. I'm just saying that the OLEDs
You're-
are a decent TV. And probably the best TV in the store is the A1 Sony, which is allows
He's selling
true
us
black.
a
But
TV.
how
Natural
much
colours.
is this? That's my question.
So
if it's
true
the
blacks,
best
natural
TV,
colours. Don't fret about
True
that.
laxatives.
True blacks, natural colours. And guess
True
what?
laxatives,
The best
yeah.
thing of all. Guess where the speakers are.
Up your ass.
not in the box, it's a DLC. It's an optional extra, just like the headphone jack.
No,
on
no,
most
no,
phones.
no. It is actually on the screen itself. The screen itself has got acoustic surface technology that allows the screen.
Bullshit.
No, it
So,
is.
wait, does that mean if you put the bass really high, the TV will start displaying
Yes.
funny colours?
No, you wouldn't do that. The TV itself is the speaker. So if a bird flies one side of the screen to the other side of the screen, it actually follows that sound all the way across the screen, and it's
hang on.
amazing.
What if they don't transmit it like that? Because I'm sure the BBC isn't transmitting for just one.
No, I know, but
television.
But
then it'll
it-
just work. Then the
Can't really
entire
class it
screen
as
will just,
surround, though.
then the entire screen will class as the entire screen will be the speaker. So there's basically a speaker is just vibrations, and it uses that vibrations for the screen. And the reason you don't get that color distortion is because it's LEDs. No, it's because it's individual pixels, and the individual pixels won't become distorted because it is fixed to the display. So it works
Not gonna
really
lie,
well.
it sounds like another thing to break. How much
No,
is
it's
it?
not. It's really. If you saw it, you'd be amazed by this TV.
I've seen them. They're expensive as fuck and not.
It
really
is
useful.
2,200. It's
You could buy a
£2,700.
very nice car for that.
You can buy some very nice cars for that man. The thing is,
You
we
could
bought.
buy some very nice people for that,
what's it?
probably.
We bought our
Nice
what's it
people.
called? We bought our Sony TV. It was one of those ones called the Bravias or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's a
And
nice TV.
we bought that in. It was an LED, so it was one of the first LED ones that came. Like, that was more affordable for about 600 quid back in when Comet was still a thing. So probably about 2010.
Oh wow!
And we've had that TV since then. We've only recently, like in the last year, got HD, like in the house. So we've got Freeset HD now, and the BBC transmits in HD. That's fine. I don't need anything more than that. The TV's brilliant. I've got my computer monitor up here, and I want to get a better one of them. The TV.
See,
I
that's
don't watch TV, so I
I
don't
can see the
really
bloody
use it.
picture. I don't need to spend £2 on the TV. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, but you a lot of people just don't use. You wouldn't need it for you've got FreeSat or whatever. You don't need it. That amazing display. But if you're watching movies or whatnot, I mean, we do really good deals. I mean, we had a Samsung soundbar that is normally $599.
Yeah.
It's been reduced.
An expensive sound
Yeah.
bar.
It's all the subwoofer is actually in the soundbar, so the subwoofer, the soundbar, and it's got 9 speakers all the way across, so it does give you that.
Samsung, right?
Yeah, Samsung.
Oh no, I was Panasonic.
I don't know if that
Nice cinema
justifies.
system.
Yeah, so it's a really good speaker anyway, and if you heard it, you would yeah. But $599 is a bit expensive. Then it's been
I
reduced.
mean,
to
at the end of the
recently,
day,
it's been reduced to $499, and when bought with a TV, it's $299. So $299 for a decent TV, and then with that, with the decent TV, you also can then get a Blu-ray player. So we do have some decent deals. Pop into
Jalfrezi Palace.
Jalfrezi Palace today.
Right. Can actually let's do an audio quality for a minute, because there's two soundbars I really like. The one we've got downstairs, I don't know what it's called. It's a Panasonic with a subwoofer behind it. It's great. The only other soundbar I've ever seen that I've actually liked the sound of, it doesn't sound fake or really tinny, is the Sonos one they have, which is really
Yeah,
cool.
Sonos is great.
Sonos, I don't know where the fuck they came from. It must be another planet, because their speakers are fucking amazing for the price. And we've got one of those little, the little Sonoses that they look like a bin. They look like a tiny little bin. You wouldn't think it would do anything good. It's the best fucking home stereo system we've ever got, and it's one fucking speaker and it fills the entire room. We've got a hi-fi, a 300 quid hi-fi next door, like with a nice amp in it, and it doesn't sound half as good. Because I don't know what we do to the Sonos, but it's fucking.
How much
gold
was
dust. Sonos was 200 quid. It's brilliant. I want to get the bigger one of the bigger ones for up here for when I'm listening to music and all that.
I mean, if you can justify the spending of money on it and you're actually going to use it, then fair enough.
But honestly,
But
my
personally,
mum
I
does.
don't have a £200 use of a speaker.
I wouldn't buy that. But the thing is, my parents listen to radio a lot. My mum has it on all day because she's
fair
at
enough,
home.
then.
So the Sonos, and it's fucking amazing. Like Jesus Christ! Like if you want a radio, that thing's amazing. The only thing I don't like about it is it takes up all my bandwidth from the internet because it's on Wi-Fi. So
is it an option? Do cable?
you can Ethernet it. Yeah, you can.
You can Ethernet your cable. You can also I don't think you can Ethernet cable it.
You can. No, I've got an Ethernet cable.
Can you audio jack it?
No.
You can audio. Yeah, there is an AUX cable.
No, not in the one. There isn't the free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but with the Sonos One, don't you have the Alexa built in?
No. It's just a thing. We don't have. Well, I don't have an Alexa, so I wouldn't.
No. With one of the Sonos speakers,
Talking about Alexa,
you can actually have an Alexa built into the Sonos.
Oh, I don't see. Honestly, I offend everyone. I just don't like. I don't see the point of AI. If I can't be asked off my lazy little butt and do something myself, what's the fucking point?
See, my mum is disabled, so she can't get up to turn the light off all the time. So it's brilliant because you can
It'll be
go
handy
Alexa.
in that situation.
Well, that's a good. That
So it is a good thing. A lot of they have a lot of useful devices, functions for it. So things like it's kind of convenient. So Alexa, play Billy Joel, and it just works if you've got Spotify.
Google.
I was gonna say, don't say Alexa too loud, otherwise you'll set my speaker off.
Alexa,
Alexa,
light off.
Light off just puts me in darkness.
For things like you said for your mum, it's really good. But for
Alexa, internet off.
For me, like I get. The only thing I've ever, because I've got an Android with OK Google. The OK Google on Android is really good. The only thing, oh fuck's sake, it's actually.
I was gonna say, don't say that loud either, because my phone will go off.
No, mine's just gone
Okay,
off.
Google.
Mine's just gone off. But anyway, I tried it in the car. I was driving home because I've got a Bluetooth stereo in my car. It's really good. So I thought I couldn't turn music on, but because I was driving, but I wanted to see if it works. So I said, "Okay, Google, play Funkin' Badass on Spotify." And it didn't play. And then I tried like calling someone, so I said, "Okay, Google, call Dad." Oh, don't call Dad. No. I'm actually calling my dad now. I said, "Okay, Google, call Dad." And no, don't fucking call Dad. Stop calling Dad.
Right, we know what you said.
Yeah, I said that. I said, "Okay, Alexa, call Dad," and it did that. But then again, after that, it wouldn't call anyone anymore. It just wouldn't. I'd say, "Okay." Call, and it wouldn't, it just wouldn't call anyone. But then if I tried it now, actually I just try it now in fact. Okay, Google, play Spotify. And it didn't come up. It wants me to unlock the phone before I can. So what's the point of having OK Google if I have to unlock my phone to use OK Google? Because by that point I've got it in my hand and I look like a fucking idiot walking down the street going, "Okay Google, can you play some music?" Am I going off track?
Papa Barkles is going to get a lot of missed phone calls by the end of this.
Papa Barkles, I love it.
Papa Bark.
Papa Bark.
Papa Bark.
Oh, we've gone for 49 minutes.
Ah,
I did tell you we go.
no one's going to listen to this.
No one's going.
I mean, if you're still listening to this,
I don't give a shit if no
Can
one's
we
listening
hand
to it.
medals out?
I think we should have a loyalty scheme. If you can get through the whole thing without falling asleep, then I'll give you a back rub.
Maybe it's a
that's
series,
an
you've got to buy
interesting thing.
subscription.
I listen to podcasts to put me to sleep, and the reason for that, I like white noise. Like,
Yeah, you've told me about this.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like listening to a podcast, like a really good one as well, like Yogg's Cast. We haven't stole Bumble Cast by Yogg's Cast. The Yogg's Cast, by the way, they're not related. But the Yogg's Cast do a podcast, and it's really good. It's called the Triforce Podcast. And I enjoy listening to it, and I put it on next to me, and I kind of fall asleep halfway through. Not because it's not interesting, just because I'm trying to sleep while I'm watching it.
When I was doing research for this, I found a really good podcast.
Oh
I
dear.
think it's called the Real Geordie Podcast, and
is it True Geordie?
Yeah, True
True
Geordie.
Geordie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I was just gonna talk to him.
and
It's
the,
really, really good.
And the one I saw was the latest one they just come out, and it was the guy who made Fake Taxi. And I clicked on it, and there was this really big, muscly tattooed guy, and I was like, "Oh, that must be the bloke who made Fake Taxi." But no, it was this businessman.
I watched that one.
And you know what? I don't know if you thought it as well, babe, but it was really fucking interesting. Like the whole industry was made, and how it's. I really recommend it. Go look it up. It's really.
I was gonna say The True Geordie is the only podcast so far that I have watched and that I will watch. It's the guy with the tattoos and
it's
the
really
skinnier
you wouldn't
guy.
think it, but it's really
Okay, you're missing out.
interesting.
I mean, there are loads of good podcasts out there.
I mean, the Salamandra podcast is really.
Have you
Tell
ever
what,
seen him, Marvin?
no, I haven't, but I mean, I know there is other good
I
podcasts.
recommend it. I'll link you it.
Let me recommend some podcasts. If you want to hear loads of.
Oh
Good,
yeah, watch those and listen to those instead of
No,
us.
listen to these as well. But the Salamandering podcast is or Let's Talk About Carsio is really good if you want car content. They're really interesting. The H3H3 podcast is really good for YouTube personalities and stuff like. They did the PUBG creator a couple of weeks, like last week, I think. The True Geordie
I think
one
I saw
is
that
really good.
featured.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
it's really interesting. But the thing is, for podcasts, I find it really interesting for the stories. Like when we got into your one about the Apple Watch, I found it really interesting because that's what gets you for it.
Yeah.
Oh god. Anyway, do we have anything else to talk about?
I have an interesting thing.
Okay, go on.
I mean, it is interesting.
You go for it, man.
So I was on my break the other day. All revolves around work. I do apologise. I've been working a lot.
Anything else, yeah.
I don't do anything else.
Yeah.
So I was on my break the other day, and I was just kind of chilling. It's been a stressful day. I'd been there for it was like a 10-hour shift. 10-hour shift in retail is hell. If you've ever worked in it.
That's quite long.
It was also the day before Christmas Eve, so it was
23rd.
It was packing.
Packing, bruv.
It was packing. Like people made 10 grand on their own that day. Through sales. So it was. Yeah,
especially in an electronics store as well.
Yeah, because you can't just see a customer and say leave. You have to speak to 3 different customers and give them all information about each different product. So it was stressful, and it was also you need to order products as well. Ordering products can take about half an hour, and you can't just spend half an hour with one customer. So you're kind of multitasking. Yeah, and you don't want to frustrate customers either, because otherwise that's when people scream at you. So it's really stressful to remain calm and treat everyone with exactly the same decency and stuff. So I was on my break just chilling, and it was my second break of the day, and I was just kind of drinking my water half an hour, and I was coming to the end of it, and my a friend came in. I've known her from college and from school before, and she came in. She was like, "Hey Carl, hey Marvin."
I'm going to bleep this again.
Another one.
So she came. So my friend came in and said, "Hey."
Fuck's sake!
I don't like people knowing my name. So
we're gonna have consistency, though. Yeah, are you going to be cool?
Marvin.
Are you going to be
I'll
cool?
go Marvin.
Okay, you'll go. So I'm going to bleep everything now. Am I?
Yeah. So all right. Okay. So I was on my break, and my friend came in and said, "Hey, Marvin, would you be able to just jack on a lad? I've just taken him to the...
What?
Would you be able to jack on a lad?
No, check on a lad. I mean, we don't have.
That's not what I thought you said that. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm with Markles on this one. I'm pretty sure that's not what you said. What kind of electronic store is this?
Trying to fall asleep to this, honestly. Yeah, and then
I'd
I was
be
just
amazed.
like, can you just come and wank off this guy? Whilst me and Vader's dime about.
So it was there was no public toilet, and we had to let some customers use the private toilet, just the staff toilet, just in case, like an 11-year-old, for example, if he's going to wee himself, we'd rather him do that in the private toilets. So she let him in to go to the toilet, and she was like, "Oh, just he smelt a little bit in the corridor." So maybe just spray some air freshener. And she was like, "Do you have any in the boys' toilets?" I said no. So she went, "Okay, I'll go get some out of the girls." So she'd been in, and I was talking to her for a bit, and it was about 15 minutes had gone by. We were just sitting there chatting about like just different stuff. And then she goes, "Do you want to go and check to see if he's okay?" Because he's been in there a while. Okay, so I wandered in there and opened the door, and hell hit me in the nose. It was disgraceful. Like this smell.
This little child.
This little child. The smell kind of just distorted my nostrils.
No,
it was awful.
I prefer to the bit earlier we were talking about where you were shaving your hair.
No, so it was. This is awful. Like it was stale as well. It hung in the air.
Oh, stop!
What's he been eating?
So,
man!
So I walked in there and I was like, "Look, is everything okay?"
Get out.
And he was.
Was he just groaning on the floor in a pipe?
So he
Uh,
quite innocently said, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I was like, "Okay." So I walked out as quick as I could and walked away, and I was nearly sick on the ground. And she came over and she was like, "Right, okay." I was like, "Where is his parents? Because we should probably tell his parents or get his parents to come in and see if he's okay."
But your child is fucking Satan himself.
So
made his mark in Jalfrezi's electronics store.
So she was like, "Right, okay, yeah, we should probably do that." So she was like, "But his parents aren't really here. I couldn't find his parents in the store." So I was like, "Brilliant. Okay, so we've now got an 11-year-old
child that smells.
Who shat himself in a toilet.
So I went over to my manager and I was like, "Look, Dave, this is an issue. This is a problem." And he was like laughing his head off at the situation. He wasn't serious whatsoever. We went in the staff room and he was like, "Oh yeah, Marvin, come over here. Just go in there and just get the fuck out. Just it's fine." And I was like, "No, this is not okay." So he was joking around, and he was like, "Right, okay, what do we seriously do?" So he sat there and told the other manager, Carol, and she was like, "Look, I don't know what to do." And then, as we were kind of considering what we do in this situation, we heard over the tannoy, "Can my son, so-and-so, please come to the front of the store? Thank you." And it was like, we all just kind of sat there and looked around. It was like, hang on, this guy has just gone onto the tannoy and then called for his son. We went outside, all the staff
was it the
are crying.
actual customer?
No, this is an actual customer. This is like a customer doing this, not a staff member.
Wait, did he break onto it?
Like he does.
Or did he just lean over and use the...
Yeah, he leant over. He's on the desk. So he kind of he was like, "Oh, come my son, come to the front of the store." But I walked outside. The entire store of like 100 people are howling, with laughter. The staff are crying and not knowing quite what to do because they can't really do anything. He hasn't done anything really particularly bad on there, so we can't like shank him or anything. So
shank him. The fuck
what kind of electronic store is this?
So
I need a job here.
Oh dear.
So we kind of was like, "Okay, I think your son's in the back, he's over here." And he was like, "Right, okay, yeah, is he so we went in there. He went into the toilet, and all we heard, after a while, was screaming and shouting. Like, not from the kid, from him. Like, he was like, he was like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that?" And it was quite funny, like, listening to it, but we were trying to kind of concerned.
Was this his father?
For this boy. This is definitely his father. By the way, this adds to the funniness. This current guy that's in the back of the store shouting at his child is my local ice cream man. So yeah, I knew him from that, and he's also quite a celebrity as well in the area.
He's a celebrity
for selling
ice cream.
Celebrity.
No, because he's really he does a really well, like he's really good at selling ice cream.
Fucking mint ice cream.
You can contact
Quality
him.
walls.
You can contact him on Facebook and tell him your order, and he'll drive to your house and deliver your ice cream. That's where he's not.
I want to test that.
What compared
So
to
he's
in Wales, he'll drive to Kent and come.
Well, no, I don't imagine he would go drive there, but
pay him enough.
Anyway, so he doesn't drive around, playing sirens and stuff. He just kind of.
You call it an ice cream siren as well.
Yeah.
Everyone I talk to, they're like, "What do you mean it's a fuck? It's not." I say it's the ice cream siren, and everyone, no, it's the ice cream siren.
It's a siren.
Yeah, it's the ice cream siren. It's the ice cream siren.
It's like a siren.
Not a siren.
Okay, right. Okay.
So anyway, he went into the back, heard a load of screaming. We were in the corridor. We were kind of laughing, but kind of serious at the same time. We didn't quite know how to react. Then we saw him dragging his son out, quite embarrassed in the situation. And all he said was, "Oh yeah, sorry, my son locked himself in the toilet." He clearly didn't lock himself in the toilet. The son still stank.
Oh man!
So he kind of then left, and then he was like, and then he walked outside to all these people still laughing at what he just did, and he was laughing. And they walked outside the store, and one of my colleagues overheard him saying, "You're not sitting on my seats like that," and it was like, oh dear. So we then went into the toilet to just check everything was okay.
I was gonna say, is there nothing there? Was it all inside his pants?
and all over the walls,
Oh,
the
no.
floor, the underneath where you'd pull the toilet paper down, everywhere was covered in this chocolatey, runny, watery substance.
This is why you don't like customers in the staff toilets.
So it stank.
No.
It was all over the place, and I walked in, saw it, walked out. I was laughing, crying, and didn't know how to react. I was almost sick. It was awful. Another colleague walked in there, was like, "Carl, you're being silly." He walked in there in the exact same state, but slightly worse because he was sick in the bin. Then Carol, the woman, you know, was like, "Oh, do you know how women like this? What particularly woman? She was like 60. Well, she's not 60. She's probably like early 50s. You know, walked in there, were like, 'Oh, you boys are being silly. You know, grow up hair.' And walked in there walked in and walked out instantly and laughing her head out. She was laughing. She didn't quite know how to react. So
Do you have cleaners for the store?
How
we
big
do,
was this
but
child?
they only came in on a Friday, and it was currently Saturday. So
Oh,
yeah.
no. You can't leave it cake for the week.
Can't leave it. So she was like, "Right, I don't think we have any cleaning products that would be suitable to clean that. Like, a lot of the stuff is
Get
just
a
like window
fucking
cleaner."
pressure washer, honestly.
Bucket
so
of water, bleach.
I then had to run to Sainsbury's to then which is quite a way, to then grab some bleach. I then had to explain to one of the Sainsbury's colleagues why I was getting bleach for the store, because it was, you know, I was like
Did
running.
you get ID'd for bleach?
No, I didn't. I went on the self-service.
Because if you got ID'd for bleach, it would have been hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't get
What do
ID
you
bleach.
need this for? There's shit plastered all over your walls.
Right, okay.
No, they did wonder why it was there. So I was like, they did wonder why I did have to, that was literally what happened. I had to explain why I was buying bleach to the manager, because they weren't, you know, they weren't going to sell it me otherwise.
God.
So it was awfully funny. So then my manager, Carol, went in. She kind of gives Sums a little bit of clean, and then she went out to the shop floor, and then she said, "Carl, would you mind going in there to give it a once over? Pretty much it's all clean. You just have to kind of wipe down the wipe down the handles and stuff, wear some gloves, and just put bleach everywhere." So I was like, "Right, okay, don't worry about it. I got your back. You know, I got your back, Carol. You know, it's fine."
Oh my god, so much
Another
bleeping.
So yeah, I was like, I got your back, Carol. So I went into the back, you know, cleared it all up, you know, just kind of put everywhere. And underneath, I was finding this stuff where I don't understand, like the different other cubicles were covered in this stuff.
Other cubicles.
Like other cubicles.
How did he manage this? Did he paint it?
Oh my god.
So it was one of the most traumatic experiences of my working life.
Right.
So yes, Vader,
Marvin.
you do win the most awful question, but I win the most awful experience.
Can we end there? That we can't top that. We've done an hour and 3 minutes. I think that's good enough for this pilot.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
for
thank you very
listening.
much everyone for listening, and good night. Fucking hell. Oh dear.